We're going to replace Christianity.
And then moved toward the far right. After he lost his show on MSNBC, Carlson saw an opportunity to start something online, where he could do a brand of journalism that was unconstrained by editors and bosses.
Oh.
It was a news and
Just a bunch of clan
opinion website called The Daily Caller. So he goes and co-founds
Unfettered
The Daily
fascism,
Caller, but that
racism,
begins to take an extremist
Nazism
drift, at least to my ear.
Oh, to your ear.
Pieces that you refer
What's
to
your trained ear?
in your book that were published in the wake of Trayvon Martin's
Of course,
murder.
he's going to say some racist Nazi Klan shit.
Well, Tucker, I think, very quickly
That's what he
realized
is.
the vision he had for this, fact-based conservative publication was not going to get any traffic. There was no audience for it. So he very quickly pivoted, and he most of the original reporters he hired left, and he brought in a new crop of reporters, and these men and women were really pretty far out there ideologically. And, at the same time that this is going on, Breitbart is kind of coming onto the scene, and Breitbart's having a lot of success with this really kind of inflammatory, pretty much racist coverage of, black on white crime. That was kind of this obsession that Breitbart had. And the Daily Caller mimicked that. And the Trayvon Martin shooting, the Daily Caller really went all
Taking
in
George
on
Zimmerman's
trying
side
to
was
besmirch Martin's reputation.
really got him a lot of money
basically, and
from
portray
Nazis
him
and
as,
Klansmen.
a thug or a hothead or violent.
So the discovery is that extremism sells.
Yes, he is looking at the web traffic. He's looking at the metrics, and he's recognizing
themselves.
that what the
Wow.
conservative base wants is
Klan Nazi
racism,
bullshit.
sexism, nativism, all these things
Klan
that
Nazi bullshit.
the Republican establishment hasn't really figured out yet. But
Oh, they haven't figured it out. No,
while
they
he's
just
running the
disguise
Caller.
it. And so he
In
decided not to
November
disguise it because he's not on
2016,
legacy
The
media.
program Tucker Carlson
Fucking
Tonight on
Nazis.
Fox premieres. Here's a promo clip for the
Well,
show.
then he was on mainstream
What's the show going to be about? You can judge for yourself, but here's the basic theme of it. People in power tend to lie, not because they want to, but because they can't help themselves. That's human nature. The more power people have,
Human
the bigger
nature?
the temptation to misuse
You
it.
Nazis
The press
just
is supposed to be the watchdog
excuse
against all of this,
stuff.
and it worked fine for a couple of centuries. Then the press decided they had more in common with certain politicians than with readers or viewers, and that's when it fell apart.
Yeah, a lot of press
Back
has
to
been
basics here. We're gonna
co-opted,
hold the
but you're
powerful
part of it.
accountable, pierce pomposity, translate doublespeak, mock smug.
His distance. He was, I think, alarmed that Trump watched his show and watched so much cable television. When Trump would call him after his show aired, I think Tucker was, just kind of shocked that the leader of the free world was watching this much cable news and calling to give notes. And he thought maybe Trump would have a better use of his time. So I think initially he was a little taken aback by that. I mean, I think he found Trump entertaining. I think he sort of, thought he was kind of a charming rogue, which are the kind of people he used to write about. But I don't think he thought that he was
Nazi piece of
necessarily,
shit.
equipped to be president.
So is anybody who
Now,
doesn't see he's a
Jason,
Nazi
where
piece of
did
shit.
Carlson actively disagree with Trump or the
That's
MAGA
kind of
party
interesting.
line?
What wedges can we still drive between?
Not in many places.
Yeah, nothing.
I think
Okay, so just total Nazis.
I think it
Confirmed
wasn't so much a sense of
100% Nazis.
disagreement as much as he actually sort of believed it maybe more than Trump did.
Right, just
And
like
I
all the
think he was
Groypers
kind of
are
a-
just
he was
more Nazi than
committed
Trump is willing to admit.
The anti-immigration stuff, the anti-crime things, kind of those issues than Trump was himself. And if he had issues with Trump, Trump was maybe just too casual of a racist. He didn't really believe it.
Why was Tucker Carlson fired
A
by
more
Fox?
committed racist than Trump.
I
But
wish
that's
I
not
knew
what
the
got him
answer to
fired by
that.
Fox. It was,
I was not able to get to the
I think
bottom
they
of
use the
that.
Does
excuse
Tucker
of
Carlson
some
know?
sexual
No,
harassment.
I don't think he does. I mean, he has a theory.
I thought it was sexual
as far
harassment,
as I
but
can
that's what
tell, as I understand his theory. He didn't tell
Put
this
out there,
to
but
me,
all the
I
Nazi
think he's
stuff
told this to
wasn't
other people.
too bad for him.
His theory is that he was offered up to Dominion as part of the Dominion settlement.
Oh my god.
The Dominion case was a lawsuit filed by
No, the
a
Dominion
company
case
that counts
exposed
votes.
all his
After
text
the
messages
2020
and sexual
election,
harassment.
Dominion became the center of a number of conspiracy
And they
theories.
probably fired him
that,
'cause he looked like he was
alleged that
anti-Trump.
The election
And
had
some
been
of
stolen
his
from Trump.
revealed
Those
text
conspiracy
messages.
theories were given a lot
They were
of
trying
air
to be
on
more
Fox
Trumpy
News.
than
Not by
Tucker
Tucker
Carlson.
Carlson, it should be said, but by other hosts. And Dominion sued, and Dominion wanted $1 billion from Rupert Murdoch.
Didn't they
Rupert Murdoch
get
wasn't
it?
going to go to $1 billion, so he offered less than $1 billion in Tucker Carlson's scalp.
Did losing his job at Fox
That was the theory.
intensify
This guy
his-
just said
his
it like that was the
ideology?
truth, but that was just a theory.
I don't think it intensified his ideology. I think it basically just took the guardrails off. I think, people talk about how Trump 2.0 was, there are no guardrails, he's unrestrained. I think Tucker post-Fox is similar. There's just no one there anymore to tell him no. I mean, when he was at Fox,
He
there was
exploited all the
corporate
genocide in
supervision as a
Gaza
publicly
to
traded
try to get your
company. I mean,
attention.
he was always testing that, and he was always
Repay the
crossing
Israelis
lines
with
that
a genocide
other
of their
anchors there
own.
couldn't, and they would
That's
let
what
him
he
get
is,
away with it. But at the
Nazi.
end of the day, I think he still kind of felt a little bit restrained or constrained. He does not feel
Poor
that anymore. And I
Tucker.
think he also, in addition to not having those guardrails,
He needs to be
I think
restrained.
he understands that without the
He needs to be
Fox
constrained into a
platform,
cell.
he needs to do things that generate outrage.
Or
enough
one of the
outrage to
camps
get
they
him
made for
attention.
us.
And so, while I think he does believe what he says, I think there's another thing going on where he knows he needs to get people to keep on tuning into him and coming back to him.
So anti-Semitism as good business.
Yeah, you said
I
that
think he's
before.
made that calculation. Yeah.
Well, in recent years,
course.
Carlson has
He's a
taken
Nazi.
to
He's a
overtly
Klansman. Like all Trump
putting on
here.
extremists on
Including the
his YouTube
Zionist
channel.
ones. They just
One of the
don't
most
fucking
infamous, of
realize
course, is
it.
Nick Fuentes, who's a white supremacist, who's praised Hitler, who jokes about it. He
Yeah, Nick
shoves it in
Fuentes
your
is a Nazi.
face.
He's a groiper.
And of course, he dined with Trump and Kanye West at Mar-a-Lago. Fuentes, in October,
And we all hate him.
was on Carlson's show. Let's listen to a clip.
I'm
from
going to
that.
curse Nick Fuentes, I'm
So I
cursing Tucker
realized
Carlson,
that
I'm
the
cursing
conservative
Trump and
movement
Putin
was
and
completely
Netanyahu through you.
bankrupt in that way. Yeah.
You're
When I became
bankrupt.
very
You have no
radical.
soul. Putin owns
Well,
you.
you became. I mean, let me just say, I'm so familiar with. I was much older when it happened to me, and much more insulated. I was not a college student. I was like 45.
Like
so,
nobody cares, dude.
And I was in a much better place
Fuck Tucker
to
Carlson.
withstand the pressure.
I gotta
but
shut this down. Why are they even playing this
I
clip?
do think
This is such
one-
fucking bullshit.
And I want to. This is
Like,
to you.
fuck
is
you, Tucker Carlson.
when
Fuck
get
you,
attacked,
Nick
when
Fuentes.
people call
Fuck you, Ben
names, like they
Shapiro.
always called me racist, and I would
Because you're a
always
racist.
think to myself,
You weren't being
"Oh, shit,
attacked.
I would tell you if I was racist. I'm a little
You do
sexist,
tell
but
us
I'm
you're
not
racist. I'm a little sexist.
And I
Dude,
never
you're a
understood
total
why they did that.
sexist,
And I
racist,
thought,
Nazi piece of
maybe
shit.
the point is to make me racist.
We want
Where you just get to a point where you're like, well, if you're gonna
Oh,
slander
it's
me, then
our
I'll just
fault.
become the thing you're
I'll just
calling
do
me.
it. I'll just
I
do
think
it.
that's a feature of human nature, don't
No,
you?
you're just a fucking feature
And
of
if you stare
Nazis.
too
Whiny
intently
Nazi
at
little
the
toddlers.
accusers, at the whatever Ben Shapiro's or Mark Levin's or Ted Cruz or whoever it is calling you names, it like distorts you and you actually change.
Oh, they
and
made
become
you into an
what they say
anti-Semite.
you are.
They made
Have
you into a
thought that
Nazi.
ever?
Poor
You're
fucker
worried that
Carlson.
happened to you.
No, I don't think it ever did because
I've
know
always
I
been
am.
racist as crap.
This is a moment of
Fuentes, I know I
self-searching
am. What do you
almost
say? I know I
for
am.
Tucker Carlson.
Very introspective, yeah. I mean, the Fuentes interview was fascinating because
Fascinating. Let's study
I think
these
the reason
Nazis
he
and
had
their
Fuentes on
natural
the show was
non-mating
because
habitat.
He was worried that Fuentes was getting his audience in some ways. They had this kind of little feud going on
little feud.
where Tucker had said a lot.
Little
of
East Coast, West
derogatory
Coast,
things
eh?
about Fuentes. He accused him of being a Fed. He
They're
thought
all
he was
pieces
a
of shit.
PSYOP operation.
Those are the least offensive things you can say
Fuentes
about them.
fired back
They're both
on his
Nazis,
show,
and the criticisms of both of them are the
it
exact
seemed- and,
same.
there was this
Two
feud
fucking
going on
Nazis.
online, and it seemed like Tucker was losing. I mean, all of
Tucker
Fuentes'
is losing. He's a
fans were,
loser.
just attacking.
And
Tucker
Fuentes
on-
fans are
on
just
X
fucking
and pillorying him.
unstoppable trolls.
He
They will
had Fuentes
trolling
on
will stop
because
at
I think he
nothing.
recognized that
Only death
he
will
couldn't
stop their
afford to
trolling.
alienate Fuentes' audience. So
Fucking
he kind of
Nazi
extended
pieces
his
of
olive
shit.
branch and made nice with him.
How influential is Tucker Carlson now?
I think he's very influential. I think he's
Only amongst
influential in a couple
Nazis.
ways. I mean, I think he's very influential inside the Trump administration.
Yeah, Nazis.
When he was
Trump
when was
Juniors,
president
the
first
people that
time
don't
around, Tucker
count,
was on
the people that
Fox.
don't matter.
He did not talk to Trump that much personally. He kind of avoided it. That is not the case this time around. I mean, I think one reason is, the first time around he knew Trump would watch his show on Fox. He could talk to him through the TV. He does not think that Donald Trump's going to listen to a 2-hour podcast now. So he has to talk to him directly. He's very close to J.D. Vance. He has a number of allies in the administration, Bobby Kennedy. Tulsi Gabbard, all the way down
Tulsi
to
Gabbard,
some
Russian
cabinet
agent as
positions.
fuck.
He's friends with those people. So there's just that
Absolute,
matter of it's just his
completely
influence
confirmed
and
Russian agent.
But
Tulsi
beyond
Gabbard is
that,
such a Russian agent. It
he-
proves that our FBI are all
people
Russian
listen
agents
to
too,
his
because
show.
they didn't. They
He's able to
vetted her and let her through.
smuggle ideas that were considered, just out of
Our
bounds.
FBI is just Team
He's able to
KGB
smuggle
now.
them into the mainstream
Traitorous
now.
pieces
He
of
gives them
shit.
voice on his show, and he's a talented enough communicator and a smart enough guy that he can.
Dude, why are you glazing
he can
fucker
explain them in
Carlson?
ways that maybe
Fucking
don't
Nazi
seem quite
sympathizer.
as, awful.
Oh,
as
they don't seem quite as
are
awful.
when they're presented in their kind of raw form.
The raw form,
And
the
he,
Klan
you know,
robe, and the burning
fracturing
cross,
of
the raw
media
form.
landscape being what it is, you know, in some ways getting fired from Fox was almost like a blessing.
Oh, it
for
was a
him, 'cause
blessing.
He got a head start.
Well, we got a head start on the
figuring
media
out this new
landscape,
media landscape.
where
I mean,
all the
cable news was kind of
platforms
a dying
maximize
medium.
Nazi
And
content.
just,
Ah.
you know, thinking about the
And
people
suppress
out there
anybody who's
today who are,
anti-Nazi.
you know, influential voices on the right. You don't really hear about like Sean Hannity that much. You don't hear about, you know, Jesse Waters.
You don't hear about
you know,
any of
you
these
hear a lot about
fuckers.
Tucker. You hear a lot
'Cause you
about
don't
Nick
talk to
Fuentes. You
goddamn
hear a lot-
Nazis.
Before Charlie Kirk was killed, you heard a lot about Charlie Kirk.
Not
That's
really, he had
where
a
the
giant
energy
fucking
is.
head and a
That's
tiny
where
face.
younger conservatives
They
are
made a bunch of
looking
memes about how
for
shitty he
their
was.
arguments and ideas.
That's about it. That's about the only time
Tucker
people
Carlson
heard about him.
liked?
Fuck no,
That's a
Tucker Carlson
fantastic
isn't
question,
liked.
and
Not
that's
by
a
anybody that
question I think
matters.
is occupying the minds of a lot of people in Republican politics and in the conservative movement, because I think his critics.
Did she say was
and
Tucker Carlson
his enemies
liked or
hope that
right?
He just wants to be a podcaster and sell, you know, his.
If you said
tobacco
is
pouches
Tucker
and
Carlson
whatever
right,
else,
you're a
and that
fucking Nazi.
He'll stop at that. He just wants to be wealthy. I don't think that's where he wants to stop, though. I think he's as much.
Trump had
a political
some money, and
operator
it
these
wasn't enough
days
for
as he is
him.
as a media figure.
He
And I
wants to
think
destroy
considers
America for
himself a
Putin.
movement leader.
Well,
And
that's
I
the
think he
movement,
wants
destroy
to be
America
at
for
the head of
Putin.
that movement, whether
Well,
it's
if you're at the head of it, we
in
need to chop
government
off the
or out of
head.
government. I don't think he's been able to figure that out yet.
So you think it's possible that he would run for office?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think that in a lot of ways,
Cardi
Trump is
B,
completely
President Cardi
offended what it
B,
means to be in
AOC, or
politics these
JC,
days.
Jasmine Crockett.
And
That's it.
so much of politics now is just being a media figure and being an entertainer, and Tucker does those things very well. Plus,
He can fuck off.
he has
He's a Nazi
some
piece of
pretty
shit.
core ideological beliefs, and I think he wants to
And
see
they get
those
boosted by
beliefs,
all the
you know, take
biggest
root in the country and
corporations.
be
The
executed.
thing that he built his
And I
career
think
on
the
supposedly
question for him is,
criticizing
what's
because
the
they're
best vehicle
fascist
for that?
Nazi
I mean,
pieces
right
of
now,
shit.
JD Vance is saying all the things that Tucker believes, and I think, you know, maybe if Tucker has his druthers, JD Vance could be the person who you know becomes president and does all these things, and Tucker will be
Nope.
whispering in his ear.
You're
But
not getting your
at the same
druthers.
time, you know,
You can be
JD Vance
you
isn't
can
that
whisper in his
talented a
ear
politician.
in the fucking jail
And,
cell.
You know, I think if Tucker Carlson concludes that JD Vance can't get elected, can't become president, well then, you know, maybe he has to do it himself. And I think our politics are at a place.
I hope you
where
run because you'll
It really
lose.
doesn't seem as outrageous as it would have.
But
even
Cardi
just a
B
couple
should be
years
our
ago.
president, apparently.
Jason Zangerli, thank you so much.
Jasmine Crockett or AOC could have been,
Excellent.
but they're not trying apparently. So yeah, I think Cardi B is going to
Hated
be
by all the
president.
right people is the title of Jason Zangerli's new biography of Tucker Carlson.
Wish you weren't glazing
Zangerli
Tucker
has
Carlson
just
when you're
joined The
supposed to
New
be the
Yorker
one
as a
criticizing
staff
him.
writer. This is the New Yorker Radio Hour. Stick around.
New Yorker, you came across pretty Nazi in that profile, but you do what you do, don't you? You decided to choose to glaze fucking Tucker Carlson, JD Vance, and Trump instead of
The New Yorker Radio Hour
respecting the
is supported
American
by Odoo.
people.
Odoo streamlines every aspect of a company into one simple business